The doing of gardening, to me, is so therapeutic. You're doing things purposefully and you're creating something very beautiful, a painting really. Working at House and Garden, I'm visiting amazing gardens the whole time and also seeing beautiful photographs of beautiful gardens. And so as soon as I moved out of London, I wanted to make my own garden. We've been here about 5.5 years and there was nothing here. It was that proverbial blank canvas. It was just literally lawn. We've got about 1/3 of an acre, so it's not huge, but I've divided it up into little spaces. I made this big kind of curving border at the back, and that was really the only kind of designed space of the garden, and I actually did a planting plan for that and really loved doing it. It's got a little bit more naturalistic, a little bit more meadowy as time's gone on. Pastel-y colours, kind of quite mellow colours, but with the occasional dash of colour. The herbaceous border is the big English tradition, basically. Mine is very much a mixed border. There's structure, so we have some big shrubs in here. We've got the hydrangea, Annabelle, and I've got some box over here, some box balls. What I think is important about a herbaceous border is to get the different shapes in, the shapes of the leaves, the shapes of the flowers, and so it's all that contrast that I think is more important almost than the colours of the flowers. We're in my vegetable garden. I'm growing things like courgettes here, spinach, chard and beetroot, beans over there, and I've got some celeriac right on the end here. I like it to be quite a kind of relaxed plot because I want it to look nice as well. And I think it's quite nice to have flowers in your vegetable plot because it is that kind of theory of companion planting. So as soon as we arrived here, I knew I had to have a greenhouse. So all my family clubbed together basically for my 50th birthday. And I got this greenhouse, and it's just my haven, and I love being in here. I sow all my seeds, so my flower seeds and vegetable seeds in spring. Is very productive. Got lots of tomatoes coming this year. My youngest son has been helping me this summer and it's been brilliant. Hopefully I've done the same to him as my parents did to me, which is, teach by osmosis.
It's nurturing being in the outdoors, and especially when you're contributing to something like this. It feels very nice.
And you are the only person who helps me in this garden, so I very much appreciate it. I think every garden needs pots. However big or small it is, you can build a display by using pots. I couldn't find a theatre, an old-fashioned auricular theatre online or anywhere, so I had one made and then I decided to sell them. I've got pots of all different types in the garden, so I have galvanised pots, terracotta pots, they're all kind of thrown together. I've filled this big bathtub here with shade-loving plants, which has really kind of brightened up this corner. These larkspurs I grew from seed, and this is a Chinese forget-me-not called Cynoglossum, which is really lovely actually, really lovely dusky pink flowers. Everything that you can see in all the pots around the house has been grown from seed. It just means you don't go and spend the money in the garden centre. You've saved money and you've had that satisfaction from growing them from seed. The front garden, I think, is totally different from the back. It's much wilder in feel. It's a kind of mad cottage garden, I would say. We took the laurel hedge out, put a picket fence in, which is quite kind of villagey. The only kind of design really in this part of the garden is the main structure. So I put some big shrubs in, dotted them around in a fairly kind of random way, and those are clipped into balls. And that just gives the kind of anchor to all the soft kind of madness in between. I have plants like this, which is white valerian, and that has gone a bit mad this year, so it's self-seeding everywhere, and you're constantly editing and pulling things out and adding things as well. So yeah, it's a fun way to garden, I would say. For me, the whole thing about gardening is immersing myself in these flowers. There's a rose that I really want to plant, which Dan Pearson is always planting, Rosa mutabilis, and I just want to squeeze it in, but there's no space. So I'm going to have to take something out if I want to plant that particular rose. So yeah, always coveting new things, new plants is a problem, really, but a nice problem to have.